Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Armored Gaming. So we all hate the Progressive Islands, and Progressive Island is currently on right now, the Futuristic Island specifically. And the reason why we hate Progressive Islands is because it's nearly impossible to get every single monster without spending a lot of gems. Now I used to think we would have to spend a lot of gems, but it turns out you can actually get every single monster in the island by spending as little as 350 gems. And it honestly might be a lot less than that. There's a lot of factors that go into it, like when to buy a certain monster and when to do stuff like that. But I'm going to try to do my best to explain that. Now this is probably going to be one of the most important videos I'm going to be releasing, and I do ask that you guys share this with other Monster Legends players just so they can know that it is possible, like, not to give up on Progressive Islands. But like I said, there is a lot of work that goes into doing this, so this took quite a bit of time. I believe over 5 hours of just researching and trying different numbers. And the smallest number I came up to was around 350 gems. It might be possible to get every monster for less than that, or maybe due to like people having jobs, people having school, summer school, it might take maybe 500 gems. But regardless, just keep in mind that you're getting all these monsters for anywhere from like 300 to 500 gems. That's still a really good deal, because right now the crazy sale week, whatever it's called, is going on, and you get 3 legendaries for 525 gems. Well, right here you're getting 4 legendaries, 4 really good legendaries. We have Master Skill, Dr. Hazard, and the 2 new ones, which is insane. Mechamancer is just incredible. He's super strong. I know he recently got nerfed, but I still think he's super good. And again, you're getting all of these monsters for anywhere from 350 to 500 gems, which is an awesome deal, because you're also getting a few good epics. You're getting one rare, which doesn't matter, but yeah, like, you're getting so much for the value. So I think it's really good. So I'm just gonna get straight into it, and I actually have an Excel sheet that I'm gonna be releasing to everyone, so that's gonna be free for everyone to use. Now I do apologize ahead of time. This video might be a little harder to understand than my previous videos, and that's just because I'm gonna be using the Microsoft Excel. And I do want to give a big shout out and big thanks to my co-lead Sherlock for giving me files to be able to learn Excel, which allowed me to be able to do this. So thanks a lot, Sherlock. So before I move straight into the Excel file, I need to show you guys gems cost per time. Now all this is available because of Monster Wiki, so big shout out to Monster Wiki himself. You see how there's these charts right here, and in each chart, let me scroll in on a monster. So this basically, I've explained this in previous videos. I guess I should say, if you don't understand pool times and spawn times, look back at any of my Progressive Island videos. Yeah, they're not Futuristic Island, but it's the same concept for each, and I explain in detail how spawn time works, how pool times work, how pool collecting works, and all that. And if you just want tips and tricks, I also have a video for that, so make sure to check those out. This video is going to be specifically on how to spend your gems effectively to be able to get everyone. So going back to this chart right here, just a quick overview. At 0, if you have no items collected, you turn on the game, Futuristic Island is available, and let's say you just want to buy this monster straight out, he would cost 152 gems. Now if you just collect all your items when your pools are full, which at the very beginning they're all full, he goes down to 57 gems. If you wait another 5 hours, once more items are collected, he goes down to 29 gems. And you see, you've been playing the game so for 5 hours, and he would cost 29 gems. If you were to speed it up, you would basically save yourself 10 hours, and then you would move on to the next monster. And that's how these charts work. So it's really good. It's a really good chart. It shows how much basically how much time you can save for each single monster, and that's basically the gist of it. So just to show you guys an example of why it's really important to know this. So one thing that is known is that if you play the game every 8 hours, so say you wake up at 6 a.m. and you play, or the island gets released at 6 a.m. and you play, and then you play at 2 p.m. and then you play at 10 p.m. and you cycle that over and over and over again, and you do these little costs, it's possible to get up to the 6th monster, Dr. Hazard, without spending any gems or very few gems. So at most here you'd probably spend, see how it's 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, you would spend 3 gems at most, and you would get Dr. Hazard. That's pretty awesome. I think Master Skill Dr. Hazard for spending only 3 gems, that's phenomenal. Now the thing is, if you understand these charts more, you can actually increase your odds of getting these last 2 monsters. And what I want to show you guys is this. Let's say Master Skill specifically. Do you see this? How he costs 256 gems. If you don't want to do his mission, if you basically, after you get this monster, the epic Nautilus 1, I think his name is. Once you get him, the whale, I'm gonna call him Cyborg Whale. Once you get Cyborg Whale and you move on to Master Scale, your pool's full and you collect everything. He costs 256 gems. And then let's say you have those 256 gems and you pay for them. Well, suddenly you just saved yourself 3 days and 8 hours. Let me repeat that. You saved 3 days and 8 hours. You know who else is 3 days and 8 hours? Right here, Mechamancer. So what does that mean? That basically means that by paying 256 gems, you got Master Skill, you saved yourself that much time, and since we know it's possible to get 6 monsters by spending only 3 gems, by saving yourself those 3 days and 8 hours, you now have 3 days and 8 hours to get towards Necromancer. And what do you know? He costs 3 days and 8 hours. So basically, you didn't have to pay, rather than playing mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, mission 4, mission 5, mission 6, and then mission 7, which you wouldn't be able to do without spending gems. You now, by speeding up on mission 4, 256 gems, you've allowed yourself to get Mechamancer for not 893 gems, but for somewhere around 256 gems, plus the 1 gem here, the 2 gems over here on mission 5, and then the 1 gem here. So do you understand how that works? There's optimal times when you should be using your gems in order to reduce the total cost and save yourself a bunch of time. So these charts are really, really useful. The only problem is you can't really see when is the best time to save. Like, when do you get the most time for the amount of gems you use? That you can't see that easily, you know. Like, is 2 hours, like right here, 57 minus 45, you're saving 12 gems in 2 hours and 30 minutes. And right here, let me do this one here. And right here, you're only saving 9 gems for those 2 hours and 30 minutes. So is it better to use gems here, or is it better to use gems here? So what I went ahead and did was to create an Excel sheet using these numbers. Now the important thing to realize is these hours are calculated assuming you collect pools perfectly. So another way to play the game is to track the spawn time of each item individually and to log in and collect once that item has been added to the pool. So again, you can always reference my other videos where I talk about that. So what I went ahead and did was I added all this data into an Excel sheet, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that now. So this is the Excel sheet I created, and again, I'm gonna be releasing this to everyone, but also this might be super hard to understand. I really hope it's not. You have to understand ratios, you have to understand what I'm doing, and I'm gonna try my best to walk you guys along with what I'm doing, so I just hope it helps. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through everything right now. So mission 1, this is Spark Wedge. Mission 2, that's the following monster, whoever it is. Mission 2 is the following monster, you know. Mission 3, mission 4 is Master Skill. So let's just go ahead and take a look at each of these columns. Right here I have hours, and this is time passed. Basically this is how much time you've been playing the game for, and then this is how much it cost at that amount of hour to be able to speed it up. So for example, if, like I said with Spark Wedge, if Island just got unlocked, so 0 hours have passed, and you decide to buy him right away, that's going to cost you 57 gems. And the next column over here, we have hours saved. So this is how much time you saved by paying those 57 gems. You spend a total of 57 gems, but you saved yourself 15 hours. You might be thinking, hooray, I'm 15 hours ahead of everyone. But this next column here is minutes per gem. And I converted it to minutes and not hours because it was so confusing with hours, because you have a lot of decimals, and come on, who really knows what like 0.6 of an hour is? That's not common knowledge. So I converted it to minutes, and it's a lot easier to understand. And what minutes per gems tells you, it's basically, and I wrote in parentheses here, it's how much a gem bought. It's like one single gem, how many minutes it buys you. So for example, right here, 1 gem is buying you 15 minutes. I hope that makes sense. So to put it again into perspective, let me move it down here to where it's 22.5. At once you've played the game for 7.5 hours, and it's only going to cost you 20 gems, and you're going to save 7.5 hours. So just think about that for a second. You are saving half the time you would be saving here, but you're spending less than half the gems. So the equivalent of this to this would be if you only had to spend 40 gems here. But you see how once you've played the game more, the cost of gem decreases significantly, which means you're getting more value for each gem. So basically here, if you don't really understand what I was saying, what you should understand is the more the number increases, the more value you're getting for each gem. So right here at 10 hours, once you've played the game for 10 hours, it only costs you 8 gems to save 5 hours. Think about that. It only costs you 8 gems to save 5 hours. Right here, it costs you 57 gems to spend 15 hours. So just you're saving 1/3 of the time, 5 hours. But look at the difference. You're saving like 1/8 or 1/7 of the cost. That's insane. So that's what this shows here. And I added this too, and it's gem cost per hour. This is basically how much each hour costs you. So you only really need to use one. You only really need to understand one, whatever is easier for you to understand. So to make this easier to understand, it's how much a gem costs per every single hour. So for example, you're basically buying time with gems. That's how Progressive Island works. When you speed up, it's similar to speeding up hatching, speeding up breeding. You're basically buying yourself time, except with speeding up breeding and hatching, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 gem buys you 1 hour. Well, right here, 1 hour, it costs 4.3 gems. Do you understand that? That means that right here, once you've played the game for 0 hours, it's costing you almost 4 gems for every hour you speed up. That's why it's not a good deal at all. But once we go down here to playing the game for 10 hours, it's costing us 1.6 gems for every hour. So that's less than half. So that's awesome. So that's the basic gist of it. So I hope you guys understand that. And this is really, really helpful because it's going to tell you, or it's going to show you at least when is the best time to use your money or to use your gems. So for example, why would you go ahead and rush Spark Wedge? Why would you save yourself 15 hours when you could play the game for potentially, let's say you play for 10 hours, right? And you save 5 hours, but then we go on to mission 2 now, right? You've only used 8 gems, which means you saved yourself from using those 57 gems, which let's just say you only had 57 gems. Now you would still have 49 gems. So let's say you went right here, 39 to save 15 hours. So now if you spend 39 here and the 8 you spend here, that's only 47 gems, but you've saved 15 hours plus you save 5 hours. So you've saved a total of 20 hours for less gems than it cost you to speed up here. So see, this is what you need to understand. You need to understand that there are optimal times to spend gems, and right away is not the best time. So this is what this shows you. 15, 16, 20, that's how much time you're buying per gem, and this is how much each hour costs in terms of gems. So you only really need to use one. So for the purposes of my videos, I'm going to be using this because I think it's a lot more easier to understand. I mean, both are pretty easy, but this is the one I had most experience with myself. And just to show you how amazing this is, let me just go ahead and show you mission 3. So mission 3 is a really good example. You see here how you get 16 minutes for every gem, and right here you get 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 19, nothing too impressive. But look what happens here. Suddenly at 24 hours, you're getting 37 minutes for every gem. That's awesome, because look what happens when you move down. Suddenly it became 33 and then 36. That means if you choose not to spend your gems here and you wait an extra 3 hours and you choose to use it here, you're actually getting less value. So to put it over here, each hour is costing you 1.58 gems. Down here it's costing you more for every hour. So that's why it's amazing, and this is probably the optimal time to do it. This would be the best time to do it. It wouldn't be at 27 hours, it wouldn't be at 30 hours, it would be exactly at 24 hours. That would be the best time. So I hope that's clear to you, and I hope that makes a lot of sense. Now, just to show you guys why this is true, let me go back to the monster wiki page, and that was mission 3, right? So look what happens to this chart. Normally it should be gradually decreasing, which is what we find with a lot of other monsters, but look what happens here. See how it decreases from 30 to 19, but then 19 to 16? It doesn't really decrease. It's kind of like a plateau, or it's kind of like almost a horizontal line. It's not decreasing. Like, let's look at master skill. It's a straight decline. That doesn't happen here, which is why, going back to the Excel file, we can take advantage of that. This is the best time to buy. So that's all great and good. For those of you who know how to use Excel, or for those of you who can just kind of keep track of everything, this is going to be a really helpful worksheet to be able to decide when is the best time to spend gems, and if you're still going to be able to get monsters. Now the next part I'm going to get into is a little harder because you do need to understand how to use Excel, However, I am going to show you its basic summation, really all you're going to be using. I really hope you guys can get the main concept of this, but if not, at the end of the video I'm just going to tell you exactly when to buy every monster to spend 350 gems. Now keep in mind that does mean you have to play optimally, which means you have to log in at precise times, which I understand it may be really difficult, especially if you have school, especially if you have work, but you could also adjust it to benefit your schedule. So maybe you won't get it for the cheapest 350 gems, but you can get it really close. So that's what this video is intended to do. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing you want to do is to keep track of everything. So this is going to be hours past, or hours past. Yeah, I'll just type hours past. This next section, I'm going to label it gem cost, because that's how much gems you're going to be spending. And that's really all you need to know. If you want, you can even put hours saved, but these two is really all you need to know. So for gem cost, we're going to put an equal sign and we're going to put sum, that's summation, and you're going to put a parenthesis sign. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and it's basically trial and error. You're going to see, for example, like, oh, spark wedge. Let's say the best time to get spark wedge would probably be when you've played the game for 10 hours and each single gem is buying you 37 minutes. Because at that time, it doesn't matter if you buy it then or buy it later at 12.5 hours, because you're still getting the same value. So you might as well do 10. So I'm calculating gem cost first. I'm using Excel on my Mac. So for me, I click on command and then I just click on whatever cell I want to use. So for example, I'm going to be using gem cost. It's going to cost me 8 gems, right? So that takes care of mission 1. Then I move over to mission 2. What you want to do now is just scroll down and you want to basically look at either gem per hour or minutes per gem. So I like to look at minutes per gem, and you want to see when is the best time to purchase or to buy the monster straight out. So 16, I'm getting 60 minutes per gem. I don't think that's a good deal. 17, I still don't think it's a good deal. And you can tell if it's a good deal just by seeing how much it increases. So from here to here, I get about 1 extra minute per gem. That's not good. From here to here, I get 2.5 more. That's a lot better. From here to here, I get 3. From here to here, whoa, what happens? I get a big jump here. So this would probably be my optimal time. So 22 gems, right? And again, you click on command and you just click on the cell. These little intersections of a column and a row are called cells. So now we're done with mission 1, we're done with mission 2. We move on to mission 3. So what happens on mission 3? Let's take a look. 16, 16, 17, 19. These aren't big increases. 22. Well, right here, there's a big increase here of 5. And then 3, and then 7. So, optimally, 5 is better, 7 is better than 5. This is the best deal. The 19, because it's a huge amount of minutes I'm getting for the gems I'm spending. And then mission 4, 18, increase of 3, increase of 3, increase of 3, increase of 5, increase of 7, cool, increase of 8. So I'm fine here. At mission 4, master skill, I would spend 61 gems. After 40 hours of playing, I also save 40 hours. And we're going to scroll down to mission 5. Let's see mission 5. Look, do you notice something interesting here? Starting at mission 5 and everything above, it is really sucky the amount of minutes you buy per gem. So right here where we're getting 18, now we're getting as little as 11, and then 12, 14, 16, 19, 22, 30. So this is probably the best time to spend gems. So this is where you would click it. And again, this is why this chart is really useful. This Excel sheet is super useful. I really hope it helps everyone. So 11, 13, 15, 18, 23. Right here's an increase of 5. Boom, right here's a huge increase. So mission 6, Dr. Hazard, we would spend 51 gems. And yeah, we continue on. This is actually a better increase, I think, but you're also trying to save a lot of time. And we move on to the next one, mission 7. See all these, if you bought them straight out, you only get 5 gems per minute, or you only get 5 minutes per gem. That is terrible. You don't want to be doing that. You want to get more than 11. You want to get 18. 27 is probably the most optimal. 18, that's too little. So I'm going to do 27. And now I'm going to do, down here, I'm just going to skip everything and I'm going to do 27 again. Okay, 27. I save So just take a look at that. I'm saving 18 hours with 40 gems. So do that here. Right here I'm saving 16 hours with 35 gems. Right here I'm saving 51 hour 30. I'm spending 51 gems, spending 36. Again, I understand this might be a little complicated, but I'm doing my best to explain it. And then you just add a parenthesis sign and you press enter. Gem cost 260. So I'm spending 260 gems, right? That's not a bad amount. So now what you want to do is you want to click on the 260. You actually want to double click it and you want to get all this and you want to copy it. So Command C. Again, I'm on Mac. That's how you copy. And you want to paste it where it says hours passed. So make sure you paste it. See how it says 260 now? Then you double click it where it says hours passed, below hours passed, and what you want to do is, see how it says B7? You want to change that to A7. And the reason we're changing this is because we basically want to change it from gem cost to hours, because we already calculated gem cost. And that's why you see how it's highlighted blue right here? That's in terms of hours now. So we got to change every B to A. Again, for those that understand Excel, you know how to do this. For those that don't, this is just a walkthrough of how you do it. I understand it might be really hard, but just stick with it just stick with it, and I really hope you guys get the whole gist of it. So I changed all to A. So I'm gonna scroll down just to show you guys. Everything is now in A. It's hiding from me, I don't know why. Let me click it. Everything is in terms of A now, or in the column A. So everything is in terms of hour. I'm gonna press enter on that now. So that's how much time has passed. So now you might be wondering, how much time is that? Well, you just press equal sign, you click on 318, and you divide that by 24, because there's 24 hours in a day. You press enter. 13.25. What does that mean? That means that 13 days have passed, and what, 24 divided by 4, 6 hours by spending 260 gems. So what does that mean? That basically means that you would have to play the game for 13 days and 6 hours in order to get everyone on the progressive island for 260 gems. Well, you might be thinking that's not possible because the island is only available for 13 days, and that's true. So now what you got to do, again, I said it's trial and error. You got to do some editing. So now you got to change this over here, the gem cost. Let's see. We know we need to save ourselves more time. We actually need to save a whole day. So we got to look at different spots where we can optimize, where we can save more time. So essentially what you want to do is you want to try to save yourself more time. And how do you save time? By being able to buy more minutes. And the best way to buy minutes is at a reduced cost. So some of you might be thinking, well, maybe I can just buy the monsters at mission 7 and mission 8 a little earlier. But see what happens? Let's say I buy him at 91 gems. What ends up happening is that I'm only saving myself 27 hours. So the difference between here is only 9 hours. And do you really want to do that? Do you want to save 9 hours for 51 gems? The answer is no, because if we just scroll up over here, let's say 9 hours, right? So 36 plus 9, that's 45. Perfect. This is a good example. If instead I decide to buy this monster, whoever's on mission 6, Dr. Hazard, earlier, instead of buying him after 54 hours, if I buy him after 45 hours, I'm essentially wasting 44 gems. Okay, listen to that. I'm spending 45 gems here, 44 gems. I'm going to be spending an extra 44 gems here, and I'm going to be saving myself a whole 9 hours. 54 minus 45, right? Or 45 minus 36. So I'm doing the same thing, but I'm spending less gems. So let's go ahead and mess with this one right here. This is, what cell was that? This is cell, where was it? Where are you, cell? So I'm not messing with mission 8. I'm instead messing with mission 6. This is cell 51. This is cell B74. And I'm going to be changing that to B73. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me just change it. And then when you press enter, you should get a new value. So see, my gem cost now increased to 304 gems. There used to be 260. So, but we also have to change now is hours passed. So I told you I saved myself 9 hours. So go to hours passed, and I also got to change one more. So if you remember correctly, I changed mission 6. So I go to mission 6, and I got to make sure I know what I changed. So there, I'm changing 54 to 45. So from A74 to A73. So change that 74 to 73, and see, now it moved up. then we press enter again, and now we have this 309. By spending 304 gems, you essentially can beat the whole game in 12 hours, 0.875 hours. Again, I don't know how much 0.875 hours is, or not hours, yeah, in terms of a day, but that's essentially the gist of it. So there you go. That's basically how you calculate. It's a lot of trial and error, but there you go. You can spend as little as 300 gems, it appears, and you have to play the game perfectly, which again, that's not reasonable. So let's extend it. Use this chart to be able to calculate how much time you save. So I'm going to show you guys one more thing, and then that'll be it for this video. Right here I'm going to put total time passed, and what I'm going to do is you press equal sign, you press summation, and you do your parenthesis, and you click the end of each. So again, hold down control, 15, 24, 36, 80, 36, 90, 80, and 108, and parenthesis sign, and you press enter. So that's how many hours you need to play to complete the whole maze, right? So then over here you press equal sign, or actually let's go ahead and insert the space in between. So that's total time passed, that's in terms of hours. And then over here I'm gonna put in terms of days, right? So that's just equal sign, you get this value and you divide that by 24. Again, there's 24 hours in a day, so it takes 19.5 days to beat the game without spending any gems. That's obviously not possible, but now we know it takes 19 days and 12 hours. Now this is where the time saved comes in handy, and it's also really important. So for example, let's do another, just over here, let's say you're testing out, right? Let's say, what if I can get my best bang for the buck? Let's say I'll do it when everything is the cheapest. So for example, right here you would, what am I calculating? I'm calculating time passed, so I'm calculating hours. So right here, 37.5, that's the best time to spend gems. Boom. Right here, after playing the game for how much? 18 hours, that's the best time to spend gems. Right here, it's after 45, but I really like this 37. So after playing the game for 24 hours, I'm going to spend gems. Right here, I'm going to do it for, I want to save some time, so I want to do it here after playing for 48 hours. Right here. What else? Mission 5. Let's see. I'll do it. I don't want to spend too much gems, so I'll do it when I have 14. When it only costs 14. Right here, I'll do it when it costs 60. Down here, I'll do it when it only costs, how much? Let's say I'm running out of gems. I have to do it when there's only, I'm going to save myself 8 hours. And then for the mission 8, again, I'm going to do it when I have 8 hours, right? So you did a bunch of different hours, and all you do is you do your parenthesis sign, you click enter. So you play the game for 362 hours in total. And again, you just divide that into days, right? 24. 15 days passed. So now what do you know? You know it's not possible. So now I'm going to show you guys why there's a time saved function and how that can help you out in terms of the game. It's really useful. So I've already told you that it takes 19 and a half days to beat the entire game. But let's say you only have a limited amount of gems. So let's say you have 200 gems, right? 250 gems. Let's just say you have 250 gems. So you press equal sign, you press you press this, and you're trying to be conservative on your gems. So you kind of lowball it a bit. So you go, oh, I'll spend 20 gems here. I think I can spend 20 gems. That's 40 already. I think I can spend another 40. That's already 80 gems. 80 gems. I think I'll do 20 here. So that's 100 gems. So I can only spend 100 gems more. I'll spend 24. So that's like 120. I'll do 27. So that's almost 30. That's 150. So I only have 50 gems to spend. Now I can't spend that many more gems. So I guess I'll do 12 down here and 35 over here. That's my 200 gems. Press enter, and there you have it. 202 gems. You can probably get that during the course of the game. So you spent 202 gems, right? And now you want to see if you were able to save enough time to complete the game. You highlight this, you copy it, Command C, copy. You press escape, and then you go to a different function, and right here I'll put, this is time saved, right? Time saved. And I'll press Command V, and that's to paste. I'll double click it and I'll change all those letter B's to letter C's, because now I'm looking at time saved. And like I said last time, this might be difficult to understand if you don't understand how to use Excel. I apologize for that, but for those that do know how to use Excel, or for those who understand what I'm doing, I hope this helps you out and you'll be able to get all the monsters. And there we go, press enter. You've saved 125 hours by spending only 202 gems. So you convert that into days, right? Equal sign, divide that, and by 24, you saved 5 days. So this is going to be days saved. So now all you have to do, you know the total event cost 19.5 days, and you know by spending 202 gems, let me write that down, gem cost, you save yourself 125 hours, which is the equivalent to 5.2 days. So all you do now is you get equal sign, you do summation again, parenthesis sign, you get this value, which is total days, and you put a minus sign, and then you put comma first, then you put a minus sign, and you click this value to make it negative, and you press enter. So that's 14 days. So now you know it's not possible to do it by spending 202 gems. Well, anyways, it's not possible using these different times I used. Like, I could have there's probably more than one way to spend 202 gems, but I just did a random one to show you guys an example for how to use time saved. So with Excel, again, I'm gonna make this shareable to everyone. You basically just have to play around with it to know when's the best time for you. Again, lots of these things on hours over here, it assumes you log in perfectly and you maximize your pool time. So you have to understand how that works. You have to understand the spawn time. And I understand lots of people work, lots of people go to school, so it might not be feasible. You know, what if sometimes it asks you to wake up at an awkward time to log in and play? Lots of people aren't going to be doing that. But you can see that it is possible to spend very few gems in order to get every monster. So I anticipate even if you work or have school, you can probably aim at around 500 gems, maybe a lot less, to get every single monster. Which again, I think it's phenomenal because you're getting 8 monsters, 4 of which are legendary, 3 of which are epic, I think, and 1 rare. So it's pretty awesome in my opinion. Yeah, hopefully this changes the game a bit, because I used to think you'd have to spend thousands and thousands of gems. Not thousands, but you know, lots, hundreds, because when you look at these 2 monsters, they're asking you to spend that much. Like, if you don't know about optimizing your speeds and you play the game and you collect all these guys, you don't have enough time to get these. So you would, this guy, look, 1,584, that's insane. Like, even after playing him for a day and 21 hours, 530 gems, that's like the cost of 2 legendaries when they're released. So again, I understand it might have been really difficult to understand, but that's just how it goes. Just take a time to look around on the Excel sheet, rewatch the video, go through my explanations. I try to simplify them, but if anything, just know, I'll click on this, the best times, should I highlight them? The best times, I'll just leave them like that. The best times, I'll leave them highlighted in their color. The best times would probably be right here. Mission 1, 10 hours. Mission 2, 12 hours. Mission 3, 24 hours. Mission 4, 40 hours. Mission 5, 24 hours. Mission 6, 45 hours. Mission 7, 64 hours. Mission 8, 90 hours. Again, this is just hours in terms of how much time has passed. So once you get to Spark Wedge, once you play for 10 hours, the gem cost should be 8. If it's 8, go ahead and buy him. Moving on to mission 2, play for 12 hours, the gem cost should be 22. Go ahead and buy him. Moving on to mission 3, once you play for a whole day, gem cost should be 19. Go ahead and buy him. And that's basically what you need to do. And if you're able to do it efficiently, it should only cost 304 gems to get everyone. I know I said 350, but again, it's a range. It really depends on how much time you can put into the game, whether you maximize your pool times, whether you maximize your spawn times. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment. As far as how to use Excel and understanding it, that's not something I can teach in one video. That's not something I can teach just by typing and replying to a comment. So I really suggest you just try your best. I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to say you're on your own, but I also don't know how I can help you any more than this video. So I just advise, just listen to this video, buy the monster. Again, you have to have a certain amount of gems, but just buy the monsters when you can. So if it's, let's say the gem cost is 9, because again, this assumes it's perfect. So let's say your gem cost is 9, just go ahead and buy it at 9. If you can't come close to this, if you can't get exactly a gem cost of 8, just buy it if it's really close. If you can't get exactly, oh, my gems are costing 25, well, buy it anyways, because that's still better than just playing the game throughout and just randomly buying it whenever you think is the best time. So yeah, I'm gonna be sharing this with everyone. Again, please share this video with every Monster Legends player, because I know a lot of people get discouraged with progressive islands because we think this is specifically suited for people that spend money on the game, and to be honest, it's quite easy to save over 300 gems. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I really hope the video was helpful. I know for those that understand Excel, it will be helpful. Go ahead and play around with the data. If you share this to other people, just go ahead and credit me, because you know I worked so hard on this. Just please credit me, because I worked so hard on this and I was up all night crunching numbers, trying out different stuff. So I really need sleep. I'm so tired right now. After uploading this video, I'm probably gonna go to sleep and I won't be replying to comments for a while. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like it. Please be sure to share it. And I hope it helps you guys. I hope you guys do amazing on Futuristic Island. I really hope this is a game changer video, but I really don't know. It really depends if you guys can all understand it. And that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.